Entrepreneurship. Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I want to jump right in on your acknowledgments. There was something that you said in your acknowledgments that stood out to me. And what you said, I'm paraphrasing, is the challenge it took to write this book.
Yeah. Well, the process of writing a book is, a long and arduous process, so it's one of the things that, you have an idea and it's in its very nascent state, and then you flesh it out. And, I'm writing this book in the midst of a full-time career, a job and, clients and board responsibilities and all kinds of different things that I have, as we all do, going on as adults. And, I'm adulting. And it just was one of the things that it was, a lot of times we are so busy servicing other people, our clients, our children, our families, and we, forget to really start and water the things that are important to us, and so it was a lot of times that I was just too exhausted to write. The topics that I wrote about are very complex, but I wanted to break them down into bite-sized pieces for the layperson so that the layperson could really, really understand what I'm saying. So that translation from writing from here to the pen is something else that was, that really took a lot of brain power. And so oftentimes I just found myself too exhausted to write, too busy to write. And it just took a long time. And I just had to keep telling myself, you come this far and you cannot quit now. My dad used to practice what he would call stick-to-itiveness. And I just kept drawing on that and, just digging deep within and also listening to my friends who, knew the challenges and were cheering me on as well. So Wonderful. It was a process, but I'm glad it actually it finally worked out.
Let's just go through a couple of these topics. The first one I like is mindset, but yes. Mindset is so important when you're going in. The art of saying no, becoming a great leader when you're in business, when you start a business as an entrepreneur, that automatically places you in a leadership role.
Yes.
The art of saying no. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
What is the art of saying no? We're not going to recap the book because we do want people to go and buy it. Right. The reality is there are some places in here for those who may not have thought about it, that they make insurance, trademarks, things of that nature, that we really do want to make sure we have our business up to par, especially if you're scaling or even if you're starting. Yeah. But the art of saying no.
Yeah. Well, that really came about because, again, just talking to people and, I'm a part of what I do is I'm a lawyer in the service industry, right? So I talk to my clients, I get to know them. I and just in talking to people and living life on a regular basis, you understand how frazzled people are, right? And how people are quick to say yes to something and they really don't want to do it. I have fallen guilty of that several times. And just because you feel like the opportunity might pass you by, or you feel like you should do something, but you really don't have the time, right? But you end up saying yes, only to get there. You're tired, you have a screw face, you don't want to be there. You're, thinking of all the other things on your to-do list, or dreaming of being tucked in bed with a good book or watching, a TV show. Right. And so really what I wanted to really draw upon is, in order to be your best self, you have to be able to, again, say no to things, and say no to things that do not fit within the paradigm of what it is that you are trying to accomplish, right? So whether it is, people asking you to pick your brain all the time, or asking, even something as simple as going out and you just know you're very tired, at some point you just have to be comfortable with saying no. I mean, it's a whole sentence. And I tell people it's a sentence and a word, like, like it is so powerful that you just have to be comfortable with saying no. And I also tell people, offer an alternative. Mm-hmm. You'll be quick to understand how people are very, amenable to not right now, but maybe another time, maybe on Saturday, maybe Tuesday.
Lisa is an attorney, author, and a traveler. And she's a traveler, public speaker. She graduated from New York University School of Law, where she began her career as a litigator and then transitioned to practice entertainment and media law. Which areas, you can give us more details, are your, I guess you could say, your expertise in terms of supporting your clients?
I work on pretty much all facets of the entertainment industry. I work in the music industry. TV and film are my sweet spots. I have represented magazines when, and publishing companies when those were really big. I was outside counsel to Vibe magazine for 10 years. So the thing about my practice that makes me somewhat unique is I represent clients on both sides of the coin. I represent producers, and then I represent production companies in, music and in TV and film. So I have the unique knowledge, not the unique, but a special skill set in, having, knowing what the other side is looking for, because I stand in the shoes of representing a production company, right? And so I can offer that knowledge and that expertise in knowing what the trends are, what people are offering. I'm working on the other side, representing an artist. So my practice spans across book publishing, magazine publishing, to the extent that it's still out there, but primarily television, film, and music industries.
So those of you that are listening, that are watching, in terms of representation in counsel, it is important. I obviously work in media. I'm on this other side. So it is important to know contracts. And by the way, and legalities, the legalities of entrepreneurship, there are some sample contracts that are in the back of the book in the appendix section. So you definitely want to go and get a copy of this. But let's go back to the practice and some of the works that Lisa has done. She's worked, as she's shared with us, she's worked on some film production, including, which these are pretty big, and I just wanted to bring these out a little bit, including the NAACP award nominated Little Ballers, featuring Cole Anthony of Orlando Magic, which premiered on Nickelodeon, and also featuring WNBA Skylar Diggs. And I just have to go in there, the documentary of former heavyweight George Foreman, which premiered on Epix. And there's so much more in terms of
those are the films that I have personally produced with production company, with my producing partners. So aside from working on those, I actually served as a producer and put those films together.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so versus, people that, clients that I service. So those are my own personal projects.
Amazing,
so really
amazing. And then in terms of her features, she's been featured in a number of mainstream publications, HuffPost, Yahoo, Essence, so many more. But I just wanted to share that for the purpose of understanding, in addition to her practice and license in 2 states, from my understanding, New York and California, correct? Also her experience and, like she said, both sides of the coins. So this book, she's bringing to the table both sides of the coins for those who are seeking entrepreneurship, currently in business. Let's just go into this, insurance. Tell us about a little bit the various, and because this talked about in this book, in your book, insurance and why it's important for small business owners, for the independent. Why is that important?
Because people really don't think about insurance until it's too late to get it oftentimes. Just as you would have homeowners insurance or renters insurance for your dwelling, it's important that, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you really want to be able to protect your business, right? So some things you're just required to have by law, depending on, what services you're in. And if not by law, certain industries and certain companies would require you to have, workers' comp, general liability insurance. Those are things that people, are often more familiar with. But one of the things that people, don't tend to think about is key person insurance. Like if you are, the head, the ideator of your company, right? If you are the Elon Musks of your company and you are the brainchild of, of SpaceX, what happens if, you meet your untimely demise, right? And people don't really think about, wow, especially these are really important in startups in tech, because a person has all this knowledge up here and they are getting investors. But what happens if that person is unable to work, or is sidelined for a period of time? So that's what key person insurance, tends to, assist with. So one of the things that, I always talk to people about is really looking at insurance before you really actually need it. So we're not talking about just only, medical insurance. That's something that we really don't tap into, but the insurance that is required for your business.
Exactly. Now, in order for the business to succeed, in chapter TeaTime, no, it's the TeaTime, TeaTime, networking. How important it is to get to know others, even in unfamiliar areas. If you're an introvert, how important is networking for a company?
Well, as I talk about in the book, I despise the term networking. Like it just like, ugh. I don't like it because it conjures up, just people with name tags on and not really, so I believe in more organic connections. And that's what I really talk about in the book. And people really do not understand the impression that you leave on people is really, you only get one time to make a first impression. And so we have a situation where people really want something from you. They want to get to know you. They want to talk to you about, strategies for their career. They're hoping you might be a mentor or a coach at some point, take them under your wing, give you the keys to the kingdom, however, through osmosis or what have you. But at the end of the day, that is a one-sided transaction. And it's what can I get from you, right? As opposed to understanding that these people that you're trying to get something from or get to know, they are busy. There are people, a million people ask them to pick their brain. Can I take you for coffee? So, be very clear about how you approach people. And, because people tend to hire and work with people that they like. I have never, ever advertised for any of my business. I have gotten all my business by referral, by word of mouth, by people who have been working with me, who have referred me to other clients or to other aspects or other, areas of their business or what have you. And that's because I have fostered organic connections, and people don't realize the way that you approach somebody. And it's just, there's an art to it. And we really want to talk about that and how to be creative, how to be thoughtful, how to engage someone consciously, without just, gimme. Exactly. And, and the cold call, which is the most offensive thing in the world, because of a million people that that you could reach out to, you're going to cold call me, having never, I'm out, I'm accessible. I am, get to know me. I do lives. I do, I'm on Instagram all the time. People are in the DMs, not that you should be asking questions, but get a chance to know people organically. And then, when you see somebody out, oh my God, and then you have the conversation, but people really don't realize, running up and, oh my God, and that happens to me 2 times in the past 3 weeks. Wow. That people have come to me in what I would really, it's not the most gracious way.
Indeed.
And I want to be
100%
talking to people about that.
And the organic way, and for those that this is not a situation where what Lisa is speaking about, it, even the comment that I'm getting ready to say, to each his own. But in terms of preferences and what she's talking about in her book, and even for me and my personal experiences, I do too believe in and feel that it's much more human. And like you said, great for that interaction to be versus what can you do for me or give me. There's a sentence in here where it says, just as you, I'm still reading from the book, just as you need to stick to a plan in order to succeed, you also need to rest and rejuvenate. You also need rest and rejuvenation.
You have to take that downtime for you and to just kind of step away from things. And we tend to glorify the notion of being busy. Oh my God, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. But we're all busy, but can you really take the time out of your daily hectic busy schedule to reset? Even God rested. And that's the name of the tea time that I have in there. Even God rested.
Right. Exactly. And thank you for that. Why was this important for you to get this out to people?
I've thought about this a lot, and it just became a passion project of mine from the beginning, right? Because so many people, you don't know what you don't know when you're starting a business. And I like to work with informed clients. And I think that there's so much out there, you don't know where to begin. And the legal system is costly, it's intimidating, it is prohibitive in several instances, because you really are intimidated and you don't know where to begin, right? It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, but you don't know where to start. And so the book is, I take you from A to Z on how to start a business successfully. That's what the hardcore business chapters are about. But because I think that the subtitle is the relentless pursuit of excellence and balance in starting your own business, the tea times are meant to give you first person, tips, anecdotal war stories, cautionary tales about how to be excellent and stay excellent in your business. You cannot be at peak performance if you're always allowing people to yes you to death. You cannot operate on the highest caliber if you're tired. You need to understand the dance and the art of networking, right? And those are the things that help make you excellent and excel in your business. But what about the practicalities of it? What is the difference between an LLC and a corporation? What is the difference between an S Corp and a C Corp? What kind of company will I need? When do I need one? What is a trademark? What is the copyright? What's the difference? What about, I want to put up my website. What does that entail? Hey, I need funding. Where do I look? These are all things that I know that I've helped clients over the course of the 20 years, 25 years I've been in practice, and know what people are looking for. So it's meant to be a book where you can just, hey, I have a question about an LLC. Oh, okay, you go and you look at it, and that is on page XYZ. Or you really can power through it and understand how to start your business from A to Z, and with the tea times, which is why it's called the LegaliTEAs of Entrepreneurship. And that tea time is you and I sitting down and me talking to the reader one-on-one about how to be balanced and excellence in starting your own business.
Thank you so much for this contribution to entrepreneurs and those with the talent, those don't know where to start. I like the fact that you start off with mindset at the top of the book. That is so vital, so important. It is important because entrepreneurship is very, very different than being in a corporate environment, right? If you're used to having everybody, you're used to having an AP department, an AR department, HR, IT, you don't have all those at your disposal, right? And if you're used to having an expense account and just spending lavishly, indeed,
that is something that you need to really sit down and think about. Steve Harvey says jump, but where are you jumping to? I'm all for jumping, but you got to have a plan and a parachute. you know, so, and it starts with the mindset. So be clear about why you're doing something, why you want to do something. Are you running from something? Are you running to something? And really thinking about, okay, it's really different. People are in sticker shock when they sit down and they understand how much it costs to run payroll. They're in sticker shock when they understand how much a plane ticket costs and hotel rooms in order to go to that conference and get that business and get your face out there, because they've had a company doing it for them the entire time. But you got to shift your mindset. You have to be able to prepare and understand that you have to invest in yourself, because if you are not investing in yourself, you cannot expect anybody else to invest in you. So you got to change that mindset.
So we're going to end there. One other thing, if someone wants to hire you at your practice or visit your practice, where do they go for that?
They can go to my practice law is Bonner Law PC. That's the website. You can find, me on, across social media platforms, on LinkedIn. And so I thank you for your time. I thank you for being, an advocate of the book. And I thank your audience for tuning in and, picking up the book. It's available in paperback and it's available in ebook form as well. And I think it's a really necessary resource, and it's an easy read. And that's what I'm most proud of, that it's an easy, digestible read for people.
Again, Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.